So if mind is making the decision, who has the free will? The decisions are already being taken by the complex interactions at your subconscious mind. Have you heard of modular theory of mind?
No, I don't think I have.
Namaste. My name is Bidhan. 2012 is when I chanced upon Upanishads, and it had a profound impact on my life. Since then, I have dreamt to bring the key aspects of Upanishads in a manner which is simple, relatable, and implementable in our daily lives. So here we are with a set of videos to make spirituality simple. Welcome, Preeti.
Hi, Vedanta.
So we're back with your question. Is there a...
Free will. I didn't forget.
If you didn't forget it, was it your free will? Okay. We will come back to that. So before we delve into it, let me understand from you, what do you mean by free will? Or what is your understanding of free will?
I mean, it's like where I make a choice. Suppose I'm deciding to, if I'm choosing between like an ice cream or a fruit, that question of me making that choice, I think that is what I call as free will.
So you are a kind of a decision maker.
Yes, I have made the decision.
Who is that I who is making a decision? Okay,
Yes.
so let me make it simple. Is it your body, your prana, your antakarana, or you, the very Atma? Who is the one who is making the decision?
If I knew the second I said I decide, something is going to come up. But from what I have understood from all our conversations, I think the Atman is just, I want to say a witness, right? We've spoken about this.
Yeah, we are the Atman.
Yeah.
We are a witness. Yeah.
So then maybe the mind is what is making the decision.
So if mind is making the decision, who has the free will?
What? I don't know, but you're confusing me.
I'm not. I'm just asking you some questions. That you said that I am the one who takes the decision. Now we are saying that the mind takes a decision. Then if the mind takes a decision, then who has the free will? That's what I was asking. And I understand it can become very confusing. It was a confusing subject for me for a fairly long period of time. I'm glad we are actually talking about it, and let's see how it goes. To our viewers, if you like these kind of conversation and want to be part of our workshops, which is understanding Upanishads in a very simplistic and a very practical manner, please go ahead and put your details, which is there in a link in the description below. And as soon as our next workshop starts, we will reach out to you immediately. So back to you, Preeti. You generally like understanding a lot of complicated concepts from a very scientific background, right? So let us talk about certain experiments which were done in Max Planck Institute of Germany. I'm not getting in the details of the experiment. I'm just trying to make you visualize what would have happened. Imagine you are sitting in a room and you're given two buttons, one red button and a blue button to press. Now, which button you press, whether you press the red button or the blue button, is that your free will?
Yeah, I mean, I choose which button I want to press.
You choose which button you want to press, and after you have made a choice, you press a specific button, and therefore you are saying there's a choice which is made by you.
I made the decision.
You made the decision. Now imagine there is an fMRI machine which is put on your head, some sort of a scanning machine which scans your brain waves. And before you have actually made a decision, I'm not even talking about pressing the button, I'm talking about the decision in the mind. Before you have actually made the decision, what if the machine is going to predict which decision you are going to take?
Okay. So you're saying that this fMRI machine is able to detect the brain waves in such a way that before my mind is aware of what decision I am making and before I press the button, there's already activity to show that the brain knows what it's going to choose.
Exactly. So the machine is able to predict few seconds before you actually decide what you are going to do, which goes to say that decision has already been made. It comes to your awareness, and later you claim
That
that
it is my decision.
it is your decision.
Oh, okay.
See, this is what has been told in Upanishads as well. It says the lot of these activities, the doer is antahkarana, which has the mind has four faculties: manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. So any decision, any thought is an interplay between your manas, your buddhi, and your chitta. So there is an interaction which is happening between your buddhi, your manas, and chitta. And from this complex interaction, a thought or a behavior will come out. And then there is a faculty called ahankara, which says that I am the one who has done, or I am the one who has decided. The decisions are already being taken by the complex interactions at your subconscious mind.
Wow. It's a little very abstract what you're trying to say, but somewhere it makes sense. Is there anything that science also talks about the same thing?
I've spoken about the science itself when I talked about this Max Planck Institute of Germany.
Right.
Of course, not in all cases they were able to predict, but in a fair amount of places they were able to predict. Have you heard of modular theory of mind?
No, I don't think I have.
You haven't,
No.
since you are trying to look into scientific ways of looking at it. So, before, okay, do you understand what modular kitchen is?
Yeah.
What is that?
So the kitchen is designed in such a way that there are different compartments, different cabinets for different things in the kitchen.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, what the concept of modular theory of mind is that your mind has multiple modules which does a specific task. There is not one decision maker, there are multiple modules.
Hmm.
Depending upon the situation or a circumstance, a particular module gets activated and that becomes the decision. There is no such decision maker. It is like you are taking information from multiple places. There are and your mind has a lot of compartments. And one compartment which is supposed to get activated gets activated, and it feels as if I have taken the decision. So, okay, let me simplify this.
Let's take an example.
Let's take an example. I understood where it is going. Suppose you're in a diet and you have decided to be on a diet for a period of time. One day in the evening, you come back tired from your work and you're very hungry. And on the table, you see there is a chocolate and a fruit. Same question that you have asked. What will happen at that point of time? So let us understand what is happening in the module, what is happening in your mind. So there will be modules which basically take care of your short term cravings,
Okay.
which will tell you, hey, go ahead and pick up that chocolate. It will give you an immediate, the kick. So go ahead and pick that up. There'll be another module which will be concerned about the long term benefit of your health. And it will say, hey, don't do it because you have decided not to touch the sweets for a certain period of time. There'll be one more module which will be more interested in your self image, saying, hey, don't do it. What if people get to know that you are not able to hold on to your promises?
What will people think?
What will people think? That's a very interesting module. So all these modules will constantly be fighting with each other. Does it happen that there are thoughts which is going in your head?
Yes, multiple voices like a debate.
This debate, do you feel that?
Yeah.
It is nothing but multiple modules which is fighting with each other.
Hmm.
And one module will win. Which module will win? You have no control. One module will win. Whichever module wins, that comes to your proper awareness, and you say, okay, I have decided to do this. Say, for example, the module for the craving wins.
Hmm.
Then you will pick up the chocolate saying, today I have decided to let it be a cheat day. So I'll pick up the chocolate. Suppose the module for long term health wins. What you will do is you'll pick up a fruit, you'll not look at the chocolate, and you'll tell yourself, I have such great willpower. I have decided to give up See, I didn't touch the chocolates today. Do you see this?
Yes.
And interestingly, they say there's one more module, a module called an I module. So after a decision is taken between the relative module, the I module gets activated and says, I am the one who has taken the decision.
Right.
Do you see this? Isn't it the same thing that I spoke to you about what Upanishads are trying to say, that you have Buddhi, Manas,
And Chitta.
Chitta is a database. So between Buddhi and Manas, there's a constant feud which is happening. And whichever wins, you end up doing that. And suddenly you're
Ahankara attaches to it,
saying that I did it.
So whichever pattern essentially is stronger,
Yeah.
that is the decision that gets made.
Yes.
And it feels like I am making that decision.
Exactly. So if your Buddhi is stronger, then you end up taking choices which are good. If your Manas is stronger, you will give into the involuntary requirements that you have. And which pattern is stronger, again, is a function of your karma. You remember we spoke about Drishtaphala and Adrishtaphala,
Yes.
and how the Adrishtaphala actually feeds into your patterns. So your pattern is nothing but a function of your Adrishtaphala, of your karma. So your karma is actually driving your current moment.
So somewhere it's like AI. I don't know if I'm right. It feels like you're saying that we are just like these robots that sort of the software keeps rewiring depending on the situation, and we are programmed in a certain way.
It's a nice analogy. You're not like a robot. You are the
I
very
hope not.
you are the very Atman, which is experiencing the body and mind, which has its own innate intelligence. But your body and mind is like a robot, a very advanced robot. There is a lot of hardware and software and prior conditioning, and there's a whole lot of things which is happening and which is finally coming out in form of an outcome. And then you end up saying, I did it, because that feeling of I is also a product of your karma, is also a product of that evolution.
So if you say that the feeling of I is also a product of karma, is there any way that is there a possibility? Can I change this? Can I change it somehow?
Can you change the pattern?
Yeah.
Yes, through pause and awareness.
What do you mean? You can't just say pause and awareness and then keep quiet. What do you mean by that?
Okay. You just saw something. I kind of thought it will happen. You felt a little agitated when I kept quiet. And this has happened in previous episodes also. When I say a specific word and you don't see it coming, there is a feeling that, okay, why isn't he talking immediately? Did you feel that happening?
Yeah.
Right? Just look at it. There was a surge inside you to ask this question that Vidhan, speak more.
Right.
That surge is a part of your manas, is a part of your conditioning. When things are not happening the way we want, suddenly there is a surge. So when you're driven by your conditioning, there is a question of free will. You may say that, okay, I decided to ask this and I decided to ask a little forcefully. But did you really decide it, or it just happened?
No, it was a spur of the moment reaction for sure. Yeah.
So when you're driven by your unconscious or subconscious patterns, there is no free will. Or there is no freedom to choose, as you said. It simply happens and you feel post facto that you have made a choice, but there was no choices made. But imagine, when you feel a surge, when you feel a certain emotion and a certain thought, at that moment, you just decide to give it a pause. You just don't react to it immediately. In that moment, you create a choice. Let's take an example. You come back from your home, from your work to your home, and you see a chocolate and a fruits.
Same example.
Same example. And the first surge is to go and grab the chocolate, because that has been the conditioning. That's the reason you were even dieting. I mean, I'm assuming. In that moment when the surge comes, pause. Just watch the feeling arising inside you. Let that feeling come. Don't respond in that moment. Just pause and be hyper aware in that moment. Now, two things will happen. First, in that pause, there will be other thoughts which will come, which were not very strong thoughts, where your buddhi is getting activated, giving you reasons why you should not have chocolates, and also telling you, hey, instead of having a chocolate or a fruit, why don't you try something else? There'll be a lot of options which will start coming in. What is happening is that your buddhi is getting activated in that pause. Reconditioning is happening. Second thing, you may still feel that urge to still go ahead and have it. You may still end up grabbing that chocolate, but this time you are doing with a lot of awareness. You know that you are given into your impulse. Knowing itself is helping you slowly move away from that. Maybe you may do once more or twice, but after that you will not be able to do it because you know that you are giving in, and somewhere your buddhi will start getting activated. So do you see this?
So you're saying just even if I'm choosing to take the chocolate, I am aware and I'm doing it mindfully
You're doing
as opposed to just reacting like how I reacted now. That's what you mean. Okay.
you are aware of the choices.
Hmm.
You are aware that you're giving into your impulses.
Right.
You are aware that you're not able to listen to your logic.
Hmm.
In that awareness, you're doing it. And when you just become aware, you'll automatically see that your buddhi, your intellect, will become sharpened more and more, more and more. And ultimately, it will take over your manas.
So self-awareness, mindfulness, what we just spoke about, delayed gratification, all of this you're saying helps to sharpen my buddhi.
It helps to sharpen your buddhi.
Okay.
Because buddhi is the one, if you actually think, is the one which decides. The power of discretion is in buddhi.
So then, because we were talking about free will, does that mean that my free will lives in buddhi?
Again, I'm trying to say that when you're saying free will, you're trying to say that there is a will which belongs to you. I'm saying there is no you. That feeling of I simply grabs itself to the decision which has been taken, isn't it? Because you are the very awareness, the consciousness in which all this drama is happening.
Right.
And therefore, if you see in Upanishads, they're not talking about free will, they talk about freedom.
Okay.
They're talking about freedom. Is basically breaking your identification from body and mind to knowing who you truly are. They are basically talking about freedom. But since we are living in Vyavaharika Satya, in the transactional reality, if you go deeper, which faculty of your mind takes decisions? It is your buddhi, right? Now, your buddhi can also be colored by your tendencies. I'm not using the word chitta because it becomes complicated. It can be also be colored by your own tendencies. And sometimes the buddhi may decide to go ahead with things which may not be right. And this is exactly where Mahabharata, where Bhagavad Gita was written. Because when Arjun saw that he has to kill his near and dear ones, he came with very logical explanation why this war is adharma.
Right.
So ऐसा नहीं है कि his buddhi is not active. His buddhi is active. But at that point of time, the manas is so overpowering that the buddhi is siding with manas. Do you see this?
Yes.
Right? Your buddhi has the innate intelligence to know what is right. It exactly knows what is dharma and what is your swadharma and how to align itself. That is the one that decides and discerns for you.
Right.
The point is, how do I make my buddhi stronger or sharper? If you can say, if I'm able to make my buddhi sharper, you can loosely say that I'm giving power to the faculty that decides what is right for me.
Right. So I mean, you burst a bubble there.
What was that?
It feels like the whole free will question of free will is an illusion,
Yeah,
right? And it's all about what can I do to strengthen my buddhi so that the
exactly.
patterns that eventually reveal help me make that better decision.
I would like to do a thought experiment with you.
Okay.
Tell me, are there things during the day where you feel you have good willpower and certain things in which you have no willpower?
Yes, absolutely. I feel there are times during the day, like um if we talk about the same example of the fruit and chocolate, I think I have very good willpower there. I am quite consistent with that. That's what I meant by good. Like I can curb my urges at that time, right?
Right?
But I think things like scrolling social media or binge watching TV, these are some things that I feel I don't have the willpower. Even if I say I won't do it or I reserve like the weekend to do it, I land up anyway doing it. So I feel like I don't have the willpower.
Perfect. Now, let me again rephrase this. It has anything to do with willpower? Because if you have willpower, so to say, that should show in all the aspect. If you have a willpower to curb your tendency towards not having a chocolate, then why can't you use the same willpower to curb your tendency to not binge watch? Or if you say, I don't have willpower and therefore you are able to binge watch, then similarly it should also show in you grabbing the chocolates,
Right.
which means it is nothing to do with your willpower. In certain aspects of your life, your buddhi is activated
Hmm.
and the manas is little dormant. In certain aspects of your life, the manas is hyper and the
So
buddhi
he becomes dormant.
is little dormant.
Right.
It's nothing to do with willpower per se,
Hmm.
right? It's nothing to do with free will per se, that I'm not able to choose this, I'm not able to choose that. It's a play between manas and buddhi. Which one is dormant and which one is sharp?
It's like the animal you feed grows, right? So if you feed your buddhi, I think that becomes stronger.
Yes.
Right.
And the $1,000,000 question here is that what do I do on a daily basis to feed my buddhi? Or am I continuously feeding the manas? If you're really feeding your buddhi, your ability to discern becomes better, and you can typically say, I have a lot of free will. But if you're driven by your tendencies, by your vasanas, by
Your
your
conditioning.
samskaras, conditioning, by your karmas, then there is no
No
freedom.
question of freedom, free will,
Nothing.
nothing. Wow. Okay. I think that has been, like I said, a bubble burst. Because we've spoken a lot about karma, and now the question of free will has also come into play.
So let me clarify, because we tend to think there is free will. And who has the will? I mean, it's
If there's no I, there's no, yeah, I get that.
there is no will. It's basically it's what's happening between the various faculties of your mind. And the interesting part here is, even to know this, you need to have little bit of your buddhi sharpened.
I mean, yeah. It's like a cycle. It's like a loop, right? Like, like you need that basic amount of buddhi to know that I need to sharpen my buddhi. It's a lose-lose situation, Vedant.
It's not a lose-lose situation. If you remember in the previous episode when we were talking about collective karma, see, all of us are evolving. The plants, the animals, the humans, everybody is evolving. And if we are in a human form, we all have certain amount of buddhi. Maybe we need to wait for some time or for some grace to follow. And something happens where our level of awareness improves and the buddhi gets activated and things starts rolling up. But once you have that little bit of a buddhi awareness, I think it's a great opportunity to pick that up and sharpen that faculty and see how evolution takes over.
Absolutely. I can't wait for this grace to take over, by the way.
Wonderful. So would you just want to quickly sum it up before I kind of talk to my audience?
Definitely. So, in today's, at least with our conversation, I remember asking you about free will long back, but what I have really taken away is both the modular theory and what you spoke about, how the manas and chitta are always at battle with each other. So, it's about which of the patterns is stronger, and that is the decision that gets made.
Right.
And what we can do is do things to sharpen the buddhi.
Yes.
Because we are not making the decision has already been made. Like we spoke about the fMRI machine experiment. So what we can do is, and you will tell us also about this, about how we can sharpen the buddhi. But what we can do on a day-to-day basis is strengthen and sort of feed that animal, feed the buddhi.
Feed the buddhi. Perfect. Thank you so much, Preeti. And to all of you who are watching, thank you so much. If you want to be part of the workshops that we conduct on a regular basis, where we try and make the concepts of Upanishads very simple, accessible, and practical in your day-to-day life, including how do we sharpen our buddhi, please go ahead and register with your name and phone number in the link which is given in the description below. And this is the last episode for Karma series. If you have any specific question regarding karma, please post it in the comments. We will take it up in our question and answers session, which we are going to come up very shortly with. And if you like the episode, please go ahead and like it, share it, and post all the comments that you feel like. Thank you so much for being here with us. And we look forward to coming out with a lot more interesting content for all of you. Thank you so much and see you very soon.